Okay, I'm locked in now. Gary, cut that out. Um,
Nah, Gary, leave
welcome
that in.
in. Welcome in to another episode of Frackin' State. We are previewing FS team, Florida State. Frackin' State, Florida
Hmm.
State, but
Florida State.
but
I love my Seminoles.
um yeah, so let's after a very disappointing 2025. And after such a good start, beating Bama at
Yeah,
home, and then it just goes downhill. Um, they finished 5-7 and finished 13th in a league with 17 teams. Like, where is it when Florida State was good at football? Like, this is, yeah. So overall trajectory of this program, how do you feel?
hmm trajectory, it's tough to say like they're going downhill when they're already at the bottom. So I guess I would say as trajectory, I would say stagnant because I don't think they're going to really be improved this year. I think it's going to be another season very similar to last season where they maybe go 4-8, 5-7, something of that nature. I don't think they make a bowl game. And I think Mike Norvell has about 122 days until he gets fired. So,
You know,
so I'd get on LinkedIn, buddy. Your days are numbered.
which of 122 can you say from what day? Because it is right now June 10th, but not when this video is posted. So,
Right. No, fair enough. Yeah, so October 10th is the final day I give him. That is so week 6 they play Louisville October 9th. And so I know I've said week 5 Mike Norvell's fired. I was kind of just like I hadn't really looked at their schedule, which by week 5 he could very well be fired. They could lose 3 or 4 of their first 5 games very easily. I think if not by then, the last day I am giving him, if they're holding out hope, they're like, no, we don't want to pay the buyout, which is basically what they did this year. They like every game they lost, they're like, can we please fire Mike Norvell? And they're like, no, we don't have the money. I think by week 6, October 10th, that man is looking for jobs on Indeed.
very
And
bold, but honestly, it's not that bold. It's kind of been the overlooming story, and we because our preview paper is the same for everyone. Defining story entering the season. That was the easiest section to fill out.
yeah,
Mike Norvell, job security
yeah.
was exactly it. And Florida State is a program because if
What do they
if
look
they
like?
continue going down this downward path,
Hmm.
let's say you're a 4 star out of high school, right? 4 or 5 star, 3 star even. Are you gonna want to go to Florida State when they're like hardly even being able to buy out their horrible coach?
Right. It's like, how are you going to pay me if you can't even get rid of your
I'm not
garbage
gonna
coach?
say horrible because underperforming coach. I'm not gonna make him sound like a
That's it.
horrible person.
Right. I don't know anything about his character,
Right,
but I'm sure
underperforming
he's a nice guy.
coach. So let me
Trying to figure out. Oh, that's way worse. Sorry. Trying to figure out the best place for this camera. This my window is cooking me right now.
Gary's gonna have a field day with this. Um, expectations from the media. You're a Florida State fan.
Yeah.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah. I
think
mean,
everyone just kind of, I think everyone's
I'm not.
writing a checkbook on them. Like,
Yeah, I'm not hopeful for a good season. I mean, a bowl game would be electric. I would be so surprised they made a bowl game. I honestly hope though that they aren't good so that Mike Norvell does get fired so that things can change. I mean, this Cody, this is a program that is storied, that is historic, that has a lot of credibility and history behind it. And these last couple years, it's they've been a joke. They haven't been any team worth mentioning. Their losses
And for the
2 seasons
ACC,
ago,
who
yeah,
is who is a lesser conference and
hmm
compared to the SEC and the
and
Big Ten,
a wide open conference as well. Not
they
only is it, yeah,
they should be the ones that are like, well, we have these premier brands and they're not living
mhm,
up to it. Now Miami obviously is now, but
right.
they weren't. And like you just never have that consistency that the SEC does, that the Big Ten does. And that's why the ACC is looked down upon because what are they?
Yeah, this is really the dark ages for Florida State right now.
Real.
Kind of the same deal for Auburn. They were so competitive around the same time, and now things kind of look dire. Auburn, though, kind of rebuilding, looking to be a little more competitive than they have been. Florida State, though, is still
Hold that
just,
thought about Auburn because they will be mentioned again later in this video.
oh, okay.
Um, which you'll be surprised of where. Um, their ceiling, honestly, if they got in for, I'd be surprised. But like that's like the
Yeah.
max I think they could do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these one,
But the
two,
floor
three,
is
four.
disaster. Like, are we gonna be
Yeah,
realistic?
I might they could go 8-4 if they win every single game in which they are not heavy. Like obviously they're losing to Alabama. They're gonna lose to Miami. They're gonna lose to Louisville. I'm just like maybe they could go 8-4. That's a good ceiling for them.
In our sheet, I don't know if you noticed this, but I said massive in all caps. In all
Or was
caps,
that
massive
a
rebuild.
massive rebuild?
I, I
Yeah,
really so deeper. I'm sorry, I had to do it. It was right there. Um, so yeah, massive rebuild though. Because this team just needs to get on the right track. And I think it's gonna take several years. And minus Mike Norvell. I I like was that one season with Jordan Travis lightning in the season or lightning in the bottle season because then after that it just went all downhill. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean, hindsight's 2020 on that. I don't even know. I haven't really dove into that. I don't know how they went 13-0. I really don't.
lightning in the bottle, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so additions, by the way, they did not have any drafted play or they had it one by the Jets. So
Okay.
but it was in like the sixth round and it wasn't notable enough for me to list it. So
Gotcha.
um but their key signing in the transfer portal was
Ashton.
Ashton Daniels. That is where Auburn
Yes.
is coming in from.
Okay. Fair enough.
Former
Yeah. Yeah.
Auburn quarterback. Um, people aren't high on him, so I don't know how to feel about that. Can't be too bad though.
I mean, he's not awful.
He's not great. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, people aren't high on it. We could sit here for 20 minutes and just list concerns about the Florida State
hmm
Seminoles, right? But what are
Right.
yours?
I think my biggest concerns are that they go 6-6 or 5-7, and Mike Norvell doesn't get fired. Would be my biggest concern because it's just prolonging the inevitable. A concern for the actual team if I was hoping for them to be competitive this year, um, would really be the man. There's so much. Probably the leadership of of this team. Like by now, those guys that have went 13-0, they went to 13-0. You'd think would be the end of the season, you at least have a successful feeling. But all that those guys were left with were we got left out of the playoff. So you have all these negative feelings, and then the next 2 years, your team is awful. What does that mean for these players coming into this program who are new this year or that are so young in this program that maybe were new last year? Like, what is the precedent that they have for thinking that this could even be a successful football team? I'm just like, we need new leadership. That's why I think Mike Norvell's part of the problem is like we need new leadership. We need a total rebrand of the mental state of this team. And then also the on the field, the football that's actually being played is uninspired. They got Ashton Daniels, who's fine. He's serviceable as a, I guess, kind of a bridge time. Like they're not looking to compete this year, but he's not going to elevate a team. Um, and their defense is uninspired. There's just nothing about this team that they could hang their hat on from last year. They beat some really bad ACC teams and they lost to any team that was good. And they had the one game against Alabama. So I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know. As you said, a laundry list of concerns, but those are, I guess, a few specifically.
And my problem with Mike Norvell is that he's so transfer portal reliant. Like he's not
Mm-hmm.
building off of high school recruiting. And that's what I think needs to change for this program to change. And there's no evidence of that because but granted, for Mike Norvell, the transfer portal was really being used at this time and really, you know, open at the time that he got to Florida State and he saw success immediately with it. So I don't blame him for being like, oh, let me try it. But like
Mm-hmm.
as soon as it like you still have to recruit. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. So I can't fault him, but I also can. And so that's my biggest concern. And even if this team is good, can they gel? Because like you said, they're just uninspired and they were last year. So like if they start off, can they start off hot? Can they stay gelled and well disciplined? Because that was also a problem. It was just penalties and just being disciplined football team, which they were not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so let's get into the schedule breakdown. Um, Starting off with New Mexico State, I will give them their first win at home.
Yeah. I think they probably win that game.
Then they have SMU at home.
They lose that
I
game.
think they lose that game. Yeah.
Kevin
SM
Jennings has been
SMU
great
is
for
a
them.
is a is a good team.
Yeah, I mean they proved it 2 years ago when they won the ACC, and they were competitive again last year. I think they'll be competitive again this year. SMU is here to stay.
Yeah. Then it, I don't know if it's a bye because it's like it's a long time between games. Like it's 12 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is. But they play Bama on the 19th of September and they play SMU on the 7th. So I don't know if they have a bye or whatever. But they're playing in Tuscaloosa. And you
Yep.
know that team is gonna be inspired to beat you.
Hmm.
So
And they're better than you.
and they're better, a lot better. Like even if Bama's on a down year, they're a lot better. So I will give them their second loss.
Yep.
Then they get Central Arkansas at home. Now, is this a point in the season where you're like, woe is me, let's turn it in against Central Arkansas and you look uninspired and possibly lose? I don't know. That is probably where they could lose it. And so he's got to win one of these tough games, I think, honestly, to not Central Arkansas, but he's got to win New
Right.
Mexico State and Central Arkansas, which I will give him.
Yeah.
But then
Then we go play
you
Virginia.
get a chance to have revenge on in last year. Remember, they stormed the field. Virginia stormed the field, and we thought that one of their students almost, or a whole body of students almost killed the guy. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then storming a field against Florida State of all teams. Um, Or
But
sorry,
at that point, they were ranked.
yeah, to be fair. But still, even at the time, we were like, this is ridiculous.
Mostly because it was so like that too.
Right. Was the game even over? Was that the game that the game hadn't even finished yet?
Yeah, it was like it was barely over. Like
Okay.
literally the clock hit and then they were all on the field.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't remember what game it was. I know there was a game where they rushed the field and the game had not finished. There was still time on the clock.
I don't know.
I don't remember what that was.
Um,
But anyway, I think they lose this game to Virginia.
yeah, I do too. And then Jeff Brom is a hard coach. Louisville, he has Louisville being a sneaky team every year. Like
Yep.
they maybe not be the best team in the ACC, but they're sneaky every year. And so I have them losing that one as
I
well.
think Louisville will beat any remaining life out of this team that SMU, Bama, and Virginia have not already taken. I think you come out of Central Arkansas, you're 2-2, and you're like, hey, we played Alabama. That's a really hard game. We played SMU. Maybe you're convincing yourself they're going to be one of the best teams in the ACC. That's fine. And you go play Virginia, which is a team that I do not think is going to be in the ACC championship or anything like that. It's still a
Even though
solid
they
team,
were last year.
even though they were last year. Oh, just threw my computer on accident. But you go and you lose that game, that really starts defining your season. And then you have to go play Louisville, who you know you probably were going to lose to, but now you're coming in needing to win that game. And I mean, I think they're just going to destroy them. And then you're looking at 2-4. You got to go play Miami, which you're going to lose, and the season looks over at that point. So I think Louisville does win that game, and that is where the breakdown of Florida State happens. I say it happens there. It really does happen in the week before that Virginia game, though.
Yeah. And then they're gonna get their teeth kicked in by uh Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes.
Yep.
Well, I don't
But
think they have a chance.
no, but then they get a
Which
little break.
which I do hate this because it is, of course, in Hard Rock, which is where Miami plays their games, but we're
Right.
not gonna get into this because I can obviously hate on Miami for it later in that preview. So make sure you stay subscribed for that. Yeah. Then they can get a win in this next opponent. Ready? Bye.
I think the bye week kills them. I'm not gonna lie.
That's where they lose.
I'm taking the bye by multiple
Listen,
scores.
even if they maybe win against Virginia and
Mm-hmm.
look competitive against Louisville, if they lose to Miami, that is where Mike Norvell will be fired.
So you're giving them maybe a week or two more
Yeah.
than I'm giving them. Yeah, fair enough.
Then they
They
get
go into the bye.
Clemson at home on Halloween.
I think they lose that game.
I do too. I kind of then can turn it around against Boston College.
I think I do genuinely think they go and win that game against Boston College.
Yeah, I don't think Boston College is going to be that good, but we're not on that preview, so it doesn't matter what I think about them. Then
Man,
at
this
Pitt,
is not an easy schedule. They have to go play Pitt. Pitt is not a bad team. They were very good last
right?
year.
They have a very tough ACC schedule
So you go play Pitt
relative to ACC
real
standards.
to ACC. Yeah, because you have to play two SEC teams.
And then they also have to play NC State.
Right, another good ACC team.
But they only have to for okay, well, because you said they have to play two SEC teams, they have to play eight conference games. So at least they get two cupcakes, but two
Right.
very long games. Um, so I NC State, not a bad team.
Nope.
So lost to NC State. And
Right.
I don't think I said that, but lot. So how many wins is this at this point? Two,
I
maybe
mean, I'm
three?
giving them two, maybe three at this point. Yeah. I think they beat New Mexico, Central Arkansas, Boston College, and then maybe they get one between Virginia, Pitt, and NC State.
And Florida, I would say they lose.
I'd say they lose that. So I think realistic best case scenario, I think they win like five, maybe six games. Realistic worst case scenario, they win 2, maybe 3 games.
Yeah. My verdict about Florida State is that they just need to get past the season,
Hmm.
get Mike Norvell out of the building, and pump new culture into it. And
Yes, that is what
start
they
with
need.
start with high school recruiting because relying on the transfer portal is not going to be sustainable. Even if Mike Norvell found success with a 13-0 season and losing to Georgia in whatever that bowl game was, right?
Hmm.
Being left out of the playoffs, which was crazy, but that's about all it's gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say on that team. I think exactly what you said and kind of what I talked about earlier is like you just need a new sense of what your team is. You need a new culture. Like gotta that has to be from high school recruiting. That has to be from still transfers. You're gonna need them, but they need to be bought into this newness that you're creating and not like what's been going on in that building beforehand.
And
And yeah, I think just
also,
moving on from the
I
current what's
I
the current
don't want
administration.
to call for Mike Norvell's job, but the results have been bad. Like, you don't want to
Hmm.
just be out here calling for people's job. Like, it's not what I'm out here to do, right?
Right.
But the results for a program like this have been so bad that it needs to change.
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel about it. Florida State, spend some money, get a good head coach. It'll be worth it. Maybe you can get Jimbo back.
Hey,
I hear he's open. He ain't got nothing to going. I don't know.
Chris,
He
what's
won you
Urban
guys a
Meyer doing these
natty.
days? Yeah.
Get someone like Jameis back.
Hey, I think Jameis, once he gets done with the NFL, he should come back and be a quarterback coach. He can be the team deacon. That'd be
He,
sick.
he can he can be the quarterback apparently.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, with the new rules. I mean, come on.
yeah. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed that video. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the mailbag, hit the subscribe button, and God bless.